Be comfortable, settle into the space. Take a little notice how you feel, even that antsiness. Like take a little mental notice because it's good. And then we can compare it after the practice. And we'll do the same warm up because we want to warm up the spine. We want to keep things safe and happy. But first, just bring your awareness into the room. Start to slow down the thoughts because they're going to be there. But let's try to get them a little bit slower and get them into the present moment. So right here, right now, tune in to everything you hear with your ears. It's almost like you have to grab that monkey mind out of the tree and come back and say, listen, you're going to do what I want you to do now. Bring all of your awareness to any fragrance you can detect in the air. Focus your attention now on your physical body. How are your feet placed on the floor? Feel your ankles. Notice your lower legs, your knees, and your thighs. Feel where your thighs are touching the chair. See if you can, in your mind's eye, locate the sit bones. And then from your comfortable seat, allow your awareness to rise up the back of the body and feel where your back is resting and supported by the chair. Attention to your shoulders. Awareness of your arms and your hands and how they're placed right now. Relax all of the muscles of your face. Sit taller, right hand on your belly, left hand on your heart. Start to breathe in and breathe out. Constricting your throat, create an ujjayi breath. Draw the air in through your nose, down through that constricted throat. Feel your rib cage expanding and your belly expanding. Emptying out the air nice and slow. Pull your navel in towards your spine. Breathe in full and deep. Empty out slowly and completely. Let's see how slow we can make that out breath. So fill up your lungs, give your body all the oxygen it needs once. Really, really slow, let it out. Keep pressing it all out. Next breath flows right in. Very slow, very mindful, let it go. One big inhale. Open up, let it out. Okay, stay sitting tall. Hands out on either side of you. Backs of your hands start to lift up. Sun breaths. Flip the palms. They continue to rise. Tip your chin up. Feel your hands meet. Open your arms wide. Relax your hands down. Drop your chin to your chest. Your fingertips point down towards the floor. Inhale, both hands go up. Open your arms wide, relax them down. Once more up. And twist to the right. Empty out the air. Unravel. Twist to your left. Unravel. Go ahead and twist to the right. Unravel, go at your own pace. Twist to your left. Arms go up. One more round. See if you can find a little more depth to that last twist to the right and the last twist to the left. Arms go up, palms touch, fold forward. Sweep your arms way back behind you. Let's stand right up. Sweep your hands forward. Lift up out of the chair, nice and slow, fluid movement. Hips go forward, hands go up and back. We're going to lower ourselves back down to the chair. This time, let your arms dangle alongside your legs. Relax your head, your neck, and your shoulders like a total ragdoll seated. Nice big inhale. Let it go. Sweep your hands forward and up. Stay seated. Lean back in your chair. Look up at the ceiling. Bring your torso upright completely. Let your hands meet. Bring them down the midline. Let them rest at your heart. Nice resting breath in and out. Good. We're going to separate our feet, hands out on either side of you. Inhale, both hands go up. Right arm lowers across the right leg. Left arm goes up and over. Inhale, you rise to center. Exhale, left arm lowers across the left leg. Right arm goes up and over. Flow from side to side at your own pace. And if you close your eyes here, really observing how far you're going into the pose, bring all of your attention into your body. See if you can empty out every last bit of air as you find your own deepest expression of your side bend. And then regulate your breath and fill up your lungs. And when your lungs are filled, your palms touch. One more on each side. So take a little notice as to your own deepest expression on each side. Think about your spine warming up, nice and gentle. Rise up to center, let your palms meet. Drop your hands between your legs. Relax your head, your neck, and your shoulders. Nice big breath in. Let it go. Sweep your hands forward and up. And relax your arms down alongside of you. Good. And then slide even more forward in your chair. And it doesn't matter how far apart your knees are from one another. We'll take our cat and cow like this. So first, starting with the tailbone, think about pointing it way back behind you. Send your chest forward. Lift your chin. Fill up your lungs. Hang on to your knees as you round your back. Tailbone points towards your knees, chin curls down to the chest, pull your navel in towards your spine, squeeze out every bit of air, and then fill up again and find your cow pose today. And then find your cat pose. Take a moment here to bring your awareness to your shoulder blades. So when you're finding your cow pose, feel your shoulder blades. They're both squeezing toward your thoracic spine. And then when you find your cat pose, shoulder blades spread quite a bit. Take one more of each. Go slow and mindful. Bring everything back to stillness, sitting long and tall, long, tall spine. Bring your hands to your heart, plant your feet on the floor. Lean forward until you can lift off. Nice, slow, and controlled Utkatasana. Fluid movement. Feel your legs and how strong they are. And then tuck your tailbone a little bit. Once your legs are long and straight, press your hips and thighs forward. Reach your hands into the air. Tadasana. Bring your chin back to center, hands meet, bring them down the midline, and let them rest at your heart. Nice resting breath in and out. Good, let's take our chair and put it right in front of us with the seat facing us. So I'll have 2 feet, 2 little legs on there, and then the other ones beyond. I think that's enough gription. First, we'll just take tabletop. So feet are about hip width distance away. See if we can lower our forearms down. If your hamstrings are tight here, it's okay to bend both of your knees. If you bend both of your knees, maybe you can press out through the back of your left knee only while the right knee is bent a lot. Soften both your knees and center your weight, and then press out through the back of the right knee. Left knee is bent. Soften both your knees and center your weight. And then see if you can just straighten your legs a little tiny bit with your arms, your forearms on the chair. Point your nose toward your knees and feel the hamstrings. Feel them talking to you. Nice slow breath in. Let it all go. Hands on the chair, lengthen your arms long, bend your knees a lot, sweep your hands up, Utkatasana. So it's a little bit different when our knees are separated. You can't really squeeze them together, right? Tuck your tailbone, point it down towards the ground, and see if you can sink down a little bit more. And then stand tall, nice and slow. Let's interlace our fingers and make a little steeple so the pointer fingers are upright. Biceps are alongside the ears. Press your left hip to your left and point your fingers over to your right. See if you can lift your heart just a little bit towards that upper corner where the wall meets the ceiling. Point your fingers upright, standing tall, long, straight, and then press your right hip to the right a little bit and point your fingers over to your left. And then even still noticing if that right arm's dropping in front of you, pull it back so you lift your heart up to that upper edge of the wall. Coming back to center. Keep your arms where they're at, and let's bend our knees. See if you continue to hinge at the hips, sending your hips back even more. If you could point your fingertips directly out in front of you, and your nose now is pointing down towards the area between your feet, Ardha Utkatasana. Slow and deliberate, we're going to stand tall, press into those strong legs. Stand tall here. Point your fingers out back behind you. Press your hips forward and see if you can look way up at the ceiling. Stand tall. Bring your hands down the midline. Let them rest at your heart. Breathe here. Fantastic. Hands on your hips. Heel toeing or hopping your feet apart. So at any time you can decide if you want to inch them even further away from one another, or you can inch them closer towards one another, so making those adjustments throughout. Okay, so all the toes are pointing towards the long edge of the mat, legs are long and straight, and we're going to hinge at the hips, and we're going to try to make a nice straight line from the tailbone to the crown of the head, and that line is going to be parallel to the floor, possibly. We're going to go for it. So the nose is pointing down towards the seat of the chair now. Elbows are out to the sides. Great place to stay right here. You can take your hands onto the chair and continue to fold, or you can slide the chair out of the way and lower your hands down to the floor. Whatever works for you right now is perfect, right? So we're just getting started. Now point the crown of your head straight down towards the ground, if that works for you. If you want to hang onto the chair and stay a little higher, that's fine. Locate in your body where you feel the stretch the most. If you don't feel anything at all right now, that's okay, but you maybe want to adjust your feet. See if you want to take them further away from one another or further apart. If your hands are on the floor, let's see if we can get the crown of the head closer to the floor. Lengthening your arms long. We're going to walk both of our hands, either hanging onto the chair or taking a block in our hand, or just taking the left hand to the left leg, or both hands to the left leg. Point your nose towards your left knee. Taking a mental note as to the depth of this pose, and then walk your hands through the midline all the way over to the other side. Whether one hand or both hands are on the right leg, that's great. We'll just try to point our nose towards our right knee. Take your hands to the midline once again, If you need to heel toe your feet a little bit closer to come up, that's fine, or bring your chair in, that's fine too. No matter what, we're going to lengthen our arms and we're going to come up to that halfway mark. Hands on your hips, soften your knees, and then stand tall. Good. Heels in, toes out, three goddesses, arms out, five-pointed star. Bend your knees and bend your elbows. Sink low and stand tall. Two more times, we're going to dip down. You can stay or you can hop right back up again if you need to. Good. Bring everything back to stillness in your five-pointed star. Let's turn the toes to point towards the long edge of the mat. Good. Now, point your left toes all the way over to your left. And reach your left hand very far over your left foot. Cartwheeling with the arms, we're going to turn the palms to face out in front of us, and then we're going to lower the left arm on the inside of the left leg, and the right arm goes up. Look up at your right thumb. Returning to a five-pointed star, nice and slow. All the toes point towards the long edge of the mat. Turn your right toes to your right, and reach your right hand very far over your right foot. Turn your palms out in front of you, and then rotating the arms, lowering down the right arm, the left arm rises, look up at your left thumb. Return to that five-pointed star. Now with our arms out long in front of us, let's try to find that flat back again where we're going to fold here. As I start to fold, I'm going to keep my palms facing the floor. I'm going to try to make a nice straight line from the tailbone to the crown of the head and from fingertip to fingertip. Hands on the chair. Heel toe or hop your feet together. Slowly take one cat and one cow. Move slow. Bring your body back to stillness in tabletop, noticing how everything feels, and then walk your hands up your body. Bring your hands to your heart. Anjali Mudra. Be still for a moment. Breathe here. Nice and slow, Ujjayi breath. In through the nose and out through the nose. Good. Reach your arms overhead. And then swan dive down. Land your hands on the seat of the chair. We're going to heel toe or hop the feet far away from one another. Bending the elbows. Let's see if we want to move the chair out of the way and hands on the floor. If you want to hang on to the chair, that's fine. Deciding here, if you move your feet further away from one another, does it get the crown of your head closer towards the floor? And if it causes any pain, don't do it. Bring your feet back together a little bit. So I want you to do what's right for your body at all times, but you can explore things. You can take a little notice as to the distance between the crown of your head and the floor. It doesn't really matter, it's just a little notice for you to take. Lengthen your arms long, walk your hands over to your left leg, point your nose towards your left knee. Noticing the depth of your pose, if your nose is getting any closer towards your left knee, and then walk your hands through the midline all the way over to the other side. Point your nose towards your right knee. Again, noticing the distance. Walk your hands back to the midline. Take your heels inward a little bit and your toes outward a little bit. Soften both your knees, hands on your hips. Reach your arms out in T. Find that flat back again. And then we're going to lift up to a 5-pointed star. Beautiful. Turn your toes so they're all aiming towards that long edge of your mat for a moment. Be still in 5-pointed star. Wonderful. Now turn your left toes to the left. Reach your left hand very far over your left foot. Lower your left hand down, right hand rises. Noticing if you can go a little deeper into this pose. Keeping that right arm long and straight. Look up at your right thumb. 5-pointed star. All the toes point towards the long edge of the mat. Right toes point to the right. Right hand goes very far over the right foot. Lower the right hand down. Left hand rises. Look up at your left thumb. Turning to a 5-pointed star. Beautiful. Let's grab that chair and bring it back in. Good. Before we do anything else with that chair, we're going to take the heels in, toes out, 3 goddesses. Now, we can decide to stay down for 2 breaths for each one, but it's okay if you want to pop up sooner. So sinking low. 1, 2, rising up. Sinking low. 2, and rising up. Thank your legs for being so strong. Sink low, goddess pose. And rising up. Lower your hands down to the seat of the chair, heel, toe, or hop your feet together. Really slow, take 1 cat and 1 cow. Walk your hands up your body. Bring your hands to your heart, Anjali Mudra, breathe here. Slow and deliberate in through the nose. Mindfully letting it go. Sweep your hands into the air. Look up at the ceiling. Stand tall and swan dive down. And then we'll see if we can lower our forearms down to the seat of the chair, pressing out through the backs of both of the knees or one at a time. It's up to you. Lengthen your arms long, heel toe or hop your feet away. So they're far apart now again, deciding at all times, do I want to take them further away from one another or should I keep them right where they're at? It's entirely up to you. Soften both your knees, hands to your hips, stand tall. Good. Take your hands right up into the air. Okay, we're going to fold forward. We're going to hinge at the hips. At any time, you can put your hands on the chair. You can. Or try to keep your arms right there alongside your ears. Try to make a straight line from your fingertips to your tailbone. If the chair's in your way, it's okay to widen your arms. If your hands are not on the chair, you can put them on there now. If you want to move the chair out of the way, go right ahead. And you can lower your hands all the way down to the floor. At this time, deciding if you want to heel toe your feet further away from one another in order to get your head a little bit closer towards the floor. Lengthen your arms long and then walk your hands over towards your left leg. Point your nose towards your left knee. Noticing if you're getting a little bit closer to the knee. Walk your hands through the midline all the way over to the other side. Nose towards your right knee. Take your hands to the midline. Deciding here if you need to inch your feet a little bit closer towards one another or if you're okay where you're at. Now, making your way up, you can do whatever you want to do to get up, but maybe with me we can try to lengthen our arms long on either side of our ears, just like how we went down, and try to lift straight up. Fabulous. Beautifully done. So adjusting your feet accordingly. If you need to bring them a little bit closer together, drop your hands down, 5-pointed star. Breathe here. It was a lot. Now, turn your left toes to your left, our last triangle on this side. Reach your left hand very far over your left foot. Lower the left hand down, right hand rises. And noticing if you've gone a little deeper into the pose, not forcing anything. 5-pointed star. Right toes point to the right. Right hand reaches over the right foot. Lower the right hand down, left hand rises. Look up at your left thumb. Five-pointed star. 3 goddesses. Heels in, toes out, sink low. 2 breaths. Stand tall. Bend the knees, bend the elbows. 2 breaths. Slow and deliberate here. Lengthen them long. One last one. Lengthen them long. Beautiful. We're going to inch our feet towards one another. Let's grab our chair and bring it in. Swan dive down so the hands are on the chair. Tabletop. 1 cat, 1 cow. Bring your body back to stillness in tabletop. Lower your forearms down to the seat of the chair. Relax your head, your neck, and your shoulders. Take a big breath in here. Open up, let it go. Felt so good. Let's do it again. One more. Hands on the chair. So we're going to step the right foot back and put it on a 45-degree angle, and then step the left foot forward. So there's only about 18 inches between my heels. Pull your right hip forward and your left hip back. Nice little Paschimottanasana, and see if you could bend your elbows any amount. Maybe you can even lower your forearms to the seat of the chair again. So pull your left hip back so much that you can feel a stretch in the back of the leg. Can you point your nose toward your knees? Hands on the chair, lengthen your arms long. Let's take our right hand and put it in the center of the chair. And as if we were going to open our arms up like a book, reach your left arm out in T and look at your left thumb. Try to keep your hips locked exactly where they're at. And then let's take this left hand up into the air. Just going as far as your body will allow. And if you press down into your right hand, you might be able to get that left hand to go higher. Lower the left hand down, nice and slow. Let's put the left hand on the center of the chair, and then your right arm reaches out in T. And then watch your right hand as it goes all the way up into the air. And lower your right hand down to meet the left. Arms are long and straight on the chair. Bring your hands to your heart. Press into that front foot, your left one, and stand tall. Wonderful. Be here for a moment. Feel how the weight is in your feet right now. If you need to, adjust your left foot to the left slightly. That might give you a firmer foundation. Good. We're going to send our hands into the air. Watch how your weight shifts into that right foot. Look up at the ceiling. Stand tall, bring your head back to center, and then we're going to relax our arms down. Really slow. We're going to interlace our hands behind us. Put the left thumb on the top. Press your palms together. Drag your knuckles downwards. Pull your shoulders back. Super straighten your arms. Tip your chin up. Stargazer. And bring your head back to center. Now we're going to hinge at the hips here. If you want to let go of your hands and put them on the chair, that's fine. Let's start to hinge. Point your nose down towards the seat of the chair. Feel everything that you feel in your body, noticing the stretch in the hamstring on the left side, noticing how much effort it takes to hold your torso here. If you want to fold a little bit more, if your body allows, that's fine. Maybe even the crown of the head gets all the way to the chair. I don't know how it is for you. But then let's lift our hands off our lower back, even a tiny bit. Rest your hands on your lower back. Press so firmly into that left foot that your torso rises. Bring your hands around to the front. Feels good to release it. Hands at the heart. Hands on the chair. Tabletop. Lower your forearms down. Point the crown of the head towards the seat of the chair. Nice big inhale. Let it go. Hands on the chair, tabletop. Step your left foot back, put it on a 45-degree angle, and step your right foot forward. And again, there's only about 18 inches between my heels. If you feel wobbly at times in this pose, just take your right foot to the right a little bit. Hands at your heart. Feel how all the weight now is shifted into that right leg. Press so firmly into your right foot that your torso lifts. Good. Feel the weight just about equal in both of your feet right now. Send your hands into the air. Feel how your weight shifts into that back foot as you look up at the ceiling. Bring everything back to center, standing tall, and relax your arms down. This time when we interlace our hands, we put the right thumb on the top. Interlacing the hands, press your palms together, pull your shoulder blades back, straighten your arms, drag your knuckles downward, tip your chin up, still feeling how that weight is in your left leg. Bring your head back to center. We're going to hinge at the hips. If you want to let go of your hands and put them on the chair, that's fine. So hinging at the hips now, continuing to pull that right hip back, left hip forward, pointing the nose down towards the seat of the chair, pausing here, breathing, pressing the palms together. And if you want to fold a little bit more, if your body allows, go right ahead. And then once you're in your own deepest expression, no matter where it's at, see if you want to lift your hands off your lower back any amount. Rest your hands on your lower back. Press so firmly into your right leg and your right foot that your torso lifts. Release your hands from behind you. Feels good to release and let go. Bring your hands to your heart, Anjali Mudra. Lower your hands down to the chair and tabletop. One cat and one cow. Good. Walk your hands up your body. Bring your hands to your heart, Anjali Mudra. Ooh, tell yourself good job. It was a lot. Good. Let's go down on our backs. We don't need the chairs. Last 6 poses. We'll take them from the floor. Once you're there, hug your knees up to your chest and rock from one side to the other, smoothing out the muscles of your back. And once you feel sufficient with that rocking, bring it to stillness. Lengthen your left leg long on the floor. Hug your right knee up towards your chest. Flex both of your feet. Apanasana, breathe in through your nose. Purse your lips, blow it out. Squeeze that knee up a tiny bit more, and then release the grip. Open it towards the right. Hug it in on the right side. Keep your feet flexed. So since we're all on the floor, if you want to lift your left arm overhead, so it rests on the floor, and you're making a long straight line with the left side of your body, and the right side's all scrunched up. And now with your left hand, take your right knee. Cross it over your body. Shift your hips. Relax your feet. Right arm reaches out in T and your gaze goes to your right. And then with your left hand, you can encourage the twist a little bit. You can lengthen by pushing that right thigh away from you. And then you can draw that right thigh over you down towards the floor. But if your right shoulder lifts, we want to press into the left shoulder to get that right one to land. We're going to slowly unravel. Take your time because we were twisted for a while. So both feet on the floor. Realign your hips, flatten your lower back by tucking your tailbone. Then draw your knees up to your chest again. Right here you can notice the difference between right side and left side. Lengthen your right leg long, rest it on the floor. Hug your left knee up to your chest, flex both of your feet. Apanasana. Breathe in through your nose. Purse your lips and blow it out. Release the grip on the left leg. Open it towards the floor on your left. Hug it in on the left side. Now, if you want to lengthen your right arm long, so it's just reaching in opposite direction of your right leg. your right hand, take your left knee, cross it over your body, shifting your hips, relaxing your feet. Left arm reaches out in T, turn your gaze to your left. If you use your right hand to press your left thigh away and then draw it over towards the floor, you might feel a little bit more of a twist. And again, if your left shoulder pops up, if you press into the right shoulder blade on the floor, sometimes it can help the left one land better. Slowly unravel. Move slow. Both feet are on the floor. Realign your hips. Flatten your lower back by tucking your tailbone. Hug both knees up to your chest. Bring your nose up to your knees. Curl up in a little ball. Gently place your head on the floor and then lengthen both your legs long on the floor. If you want to be covered with a blanket, put your right hand on your belly. I'd be happy to cover you. If you want to bolster under your knees, bend your knees. I'll slip one under there for you. Blanket, Jackie? No? Okay. As always in Shavasana, you can allow your mind to drift and wander. Or you can keep your awareness where you want it to be. So first, if you just bring your attention to the soles of your feet, they're very activated feeling. You know, all that broad-based poses, the triangles with their broad base, the pyramids with their broad bases, getting you very grounded. Your legs, they did a lot of work today. Fill up with gratitude. And the torso, the arms, the shoulders, the hands. And fill up with appreciation for all the work your body has done for you. It's the perfect time to allow your body to process and digest all the work you've done. Feels good to lie still, but only after the yoga practice. If I asked you to lie down on the floor before, it wouldn't have been nearly as comfortable. Feel your body relaxing here.
Yoga calms the fluctuations of the mind. The mind always is thinking. That's its job. But now we're going to direct it where we want it to go. We want to bring our awareness to our hearts. And think about that beautiful space, the sacred space of your grateful heart. Start your list of gratitudes and tuck each one of them into your heart. And for starters, you woke up in a home that is safe, in a bed that is comfortable. Bring in the details of your life. Bring in the faces of the people that you love, or the pets that you adore. Slowly start to bring your awareness back, wiggling your fingers and your toes. Bend both of your knees. Draw both of your knees over to your left. You can reach your arms in T if you want. Take your gaze to the right. Bring your knees to center, drop both your knees over to your right, and you can take your gaze to the left. And then continue to roll onto your right side. Rest your head in your arm. Take a big breath in. Let it go. Lift up to a comfortable seat. We'll be here for a moment or two, so get comfortable. Close your eyes. Bring all of your awareness into your body. Notice how you're seated on the floor. Awareness of your arms and your hands. Relax all the muscles of your face. Imagine for a second you can unplug the mind from the brain and plug it right into your heart. That beautiful, grateful heart where you brought in all those things, those people that you love, the pets that you adore, all the things you're grateful for. Take that mind, plug it in to the heart, be there for a moment, and observe. Good. Bring your hands to your heart, Anjali Mudra. You don't have to take your mind out of your heart. Leave it there. I'm filled with love and I'm filled with gratitude for every single one of you, and I bow to you. Namaste. Namaste. Namaste.